From a 6-sided piston to a crystal beacon, here are 100 Minecraft facts you didn't know. Giving a wolf maximum regeneration, health boost, and absorption effects makes its tail spin in circles. This is because tail angles represent a wolf's health, so stacking all these effects makes the tail go crazy. Man, this is cursed. Endermen can't be shot with snowballs, eggs, or arrows. But if you use a tipped arrow on the Enderman, although the arrow would miss, the Enderman still get the effect. You can turn dirt into emeralds. First turn that dirt into mud using a water bottle. Next dry it out using dripstone, and finally you can mine that clay and trade it for some emeralds from a stonemason. Maybe not the quickest way, but still a cool trick. Most people use obsidian to explosion-proof their builds, but there is a much better way. Try using leaves instead because you can waterlog them, making them completely blast-proof. This crossbow takes 70 years to reload. That's because the reload time starts going in reverse with any quick charge enchantment above level 5. And this crossbow is enchanted with quick charge level 6. Good luck trying to shoot me, pillager. Smooth variants of blocks like quartz and sandstone have a higher blast resistance than their normal versions. For example, smooth quartz has a blast resistance of 6, while the normal block of quartz has a blast resistance of 0.8. You can get smooth blocks by putting the normal blocks in a furnace. Wolves can't teleport to you if there is no safe space to teleport to, but if you are completely surrounded in glass blocks, the wolf has a superpower and can teleport straight into it because it's a transparent block. That looks painful. You may know that water can hydrate crops up to 4 blocks away, but did you know it can work through air? That's right, it doesn't matter what blocks are between the farmland and water, it'll still hydrate. There's no way you knew this. If you drop an item into the ocean, dolphins will start playing with it. They'll bop the item with their noses, sending it flying. Too bad this only works in Java Edition. Good luck trapping snow golems. Snow golems in Minecraft will actively try to leave any confined space they are in. They check for exits every few seconds and walk out. Too bad villagers aren't that smart. If you break a mob skull, for some, the same texture as breaking soul sand particles come out. It's almost like the mob's soul is trying to come out. Eek! There's a way to harvest thousands of crops at once. Crops need light to survive, so if you turn off all lights once the crops are finished growing, all the crops will instantly break, saving you tons of time. Before the 1.9 update, there were 30 unused potions, some of which were the Foul Potion, Thin Potion, and Sparkling Potion. They had no effect and appeared to be retextures of other potions. I wish they were added still. Imagine drinking a stinky potion. Ah! You're falling in the air but don't have a bucket? Luckily, you have a potion of levitation, because by perfectly timing the potion just before you hit the ground, you can save yourself. Close one. This new arrow existed in the game for only 2 days. The Arrow of Luck was a reward item from Fletcher villagers. Using the arrow would grant the villagers the luck effect, which would make it so you got better loot from fishing. Too bad you can't get this arrow in survival anymore. You can brew potions with a crafting table. By crafting Suspicious Stew, you can get 9 different potion effects. The effect depends on the type of flower you use. Corn flowers result in jump boost. Alliums give you fire resistance, but one flower is special. If you craft the stew with a Lily of the Valley, you'll be given the poison effect. This is because the Lily of the Valley is poisonous in real life. How do you die in spectator mode? Mobs can't attack you and TNT doesn't move you. So how? There are 2 ways. If you fly all the way down below the void, you'll meet your end. But also, you can just use the /kill command, but that's cheating. Pickaxes are super useful for mining, but they're even better for farming. Using a fortune enchanted pickaxe or crops makes them actually drop more. On top of that, for some reason, pickaxes don't break if you use them to harvest crops, so you can harvest potatoes forever. Rabbits used to be way cooler than what we have now. Today, rabbits are boring and are just a food source, but back when they were first introduced, you could hold out a carrot and tame the actual rabbit. That's right, you could have rabbits as pets in early versions, and they'd even teleport to you. You could even breed entire armies of rabbits. I need them back. Water normally extinguishes fire, right? Well, most of the time, because you can shoot fire charges straight into bubble columns, and the fire charges will just float in the water. How is this even allowed? Take a close look at the hotbar, and you'll realize that the boxes and sand textures that are transparent. Mojang is very good at reusing textures. Bubble columns are one of the best ways to travel quickly upwards, but you can also create one of the deadliest traps with them. Just spam a bunch of harming potions at the top of the bubble column, and then block it off with obsidian, and whoever has to swim up next will be a goner. The only way to get name tags is from loot chests, but there's a way to duplicate them. If you name a big slime with a name tag and then kill it, each one of the baby slimes will have the same name as the parent slime. This is evil. Separate 2 animals with a wall, and when you breed them, it'll actually work. Too bad the animals can't see each other though. Water is impossible to place in the nether in newer versions of Minecraft. Psych! Just bring a cauldron to the nether and place some water. Or if you catch on fire, just splash yourself with a water bottle. TNT is extremely dangerous because it can destroy your entire build. But if you put a falling anvil on top of the prime TNT, the TNT will explode inside of the anvil, and no blocks will break. Minecraft's old fish texture used to look like this, but there is still one place you can't find it. The fish fisherman's village has their old raw fish tied to its waist. Have you ever tried sleeping underwater? Because it's actually possible. If you swim down to the bottom of the nearest ocean and place your bed, you'll be able to get a good night's rest, while all the floating mobs can't touch you. You can never unlearn this. The Void World Superflat preset spawns a stone platform centered at 8. 8 rather than 0. 0, so the stone platform is off-centered. My life is ruined. Skeletons are a dangerous mob because they have aimbot. But did you know a skeleton can actually shoot itself? And no, I don't mean a skeleton shooting another skeleton. If a skeleton aims directly vertical, the arrow will fly into the sky and land right down on itself. How tragic. Donkeys are awesome for carrying loot, but they're too slow compared to horses. But there's a way to get both storage and speed. By feeding a tamed horse and tamed donkey a golden carrot, you'll breed them and get the mule. This mob doesn't spawn naturally and must be bred. The mule speed is between the donkey and horse, and it can have storage. This item has a secret ability. You may know that you can use fishing rods on mobs like pigs and zombies, but it also works on non-mobs. You can reel in things like shulker bullets, prime TNT, anvils, and even the dragon egg. Okay, Minecraft is not very realistic. This armor set was deleted. Studded armor was supposed to be in between leather and chain armor. It kinda looks like clay armor and could be crafted using iron and leather. Unfortunately, there wasn't a good reason for it to exist, so it was deleted. Slimes actually move faster depending on their size, meaning if you summon a slime of size 8, it can outjump the player when sprinting. And the bigger you go, the faster they become. Ah, get away from me! Want the ultimate escape route? Just bring some leather boots and build a powered snow wall. Now, if anyone tries to pass this wall, they'll freeze to death. But if you wear your trusty leather boots, you can scale the entire wall like a pro. If you name a Vindicator Johnny, it goes crazy and attacks any nearby mob. But it's actually pretty useful. You can use this crazy Vindicator to attack animals and create a passive mob farm. Most of the time, name tags are needed to rename mobs, but you can use an anvil to rename an axolotl bucket and it'll rename the actual axolotl as well. Skeletons are bow masters, but what happens if you give them a crossbow? You'd expect them to draw them back just like pillagers, but unfortunately, they're not smart enough and just try to whack you with it. Ouch! Back in 2012, you could create obsidian farms. A simple way to make this was by making a normal cobblestone generator, but placing redstone dust where the cobblestone would form. I can see why this strange bug was patched. Did you know that the crafting cable can be used as a compass? On its northern part, there will always be a texture with a saw and a hammer, regardless of what direction you're looking when placing the block. If you turn on subtitles, you can see what sounds are playing around you. This can be really useful when trying to find lava pools underground. But something cursed also happens when you spawn a guardian. Who decided to call the sound a moan? In the earliest versions of the game, skeletons had a small chance to drop a quiver. This allowed you to shoot arrows without wasting arrows. However, this item was soon removed and the infinity enchantment was added with the same effect. Mining fatigue is the worst. So when sailing over oceans, watch out for monuments because even briefly floating over them can give you mining fatigue. In older versions of Minecraft, you could make 6-sided pistons by bugging out the redstone. Unfortunately, you couldn't activate it with redstone, but they looked beautiful and were used as supply crates on some servers. If you ever wanted to build a bubble elevator, don't use water. Instead, stack up with ice blocks above a soul sand block and then mine it all down with a pickaxe. All the ice blocks will turn into water source blocks and the bubble stream will send you flying right back to the top. Whee! This is the meanest way to trap villagers. By placing a honey block and then a cauldron on top, any villager inside of it will be stuck for all eternity. Well, until you let them go. Minecraft's beacon texture has changed 4 times. It first just looked like a glass block and had a fuzzy beam. Then a weird rotating crystal was added inside. Next, it was changed to a diamond glass box and had a jagged beam. Finally, it was changed to the beautiful beacons we have today. Before the aquatic update in 1.13, any items that you threw into the water would all float down to the bottom of the ocean floor. But nowadays, they all float up to the surface and bob in place. It's really helpful because oceans used to be so much darker. So if you lost your stuff down there, it was pretty much gone for good. If you kill a chicken and its corpse falls off a cliff, the corpse will slowly fall and keep on flapping its wings. I hope you didn't know this one. Endermen hate water, but for some reason, if you put an Enderman in a water cauldron, they don't seem to mind. What's even weirder is that you can put a lava cauldron underwater, and if you go into it, you'll burn while underwater. Did you know that to find a brown mushroom, a red mushroom needs to be struck by lightning, which is a very rare event. But another way of encountering a brown mushroom is by breeding it. So there's only a 1 in 1024 chance for the baby mushroom to be brown. Endermen get furious when you look at their eyes. However, if you accidentally lock eyes with them, don't look away. As long as you keep staring at their eyes, they won't move. It's been 3 days. Help! Stop using the crafting table, at least to craft stone stairs, because you end up wasting so much stone. It takes 6 stones to craft 4 stairs with the crafting table, but you can craft a stair with just 1 stone using the stone cutter. anchor. There used to be a secret Easter egg hidden inside the beacon. If you took a look at the texture file for the beacon beam, you could find map icons hidden inside of it. How strange is that? Minecraft almost had lore. Back in 2014, Dinnerbone created something called the Ultimate Land. This would include the entire game story and would involve the dragon egg and endermites. But when he tweeted about it, he mentioned he hasn't discussed it with the team yet, so it probably got rejected. Have you ever noticed observers have a face? Well, it didn't always look like this. Instead of a face, there was a small sensor. But because both sides of the observer looked like a sensor, it was easy to get them confused. Luckily, Jeb kept getting confused too, and just added a face. Minecraft likes to reuse a lot of textures, but did you know the respawn anchor was actually reusing something as well? The respawn anchor sound is actually just the nether portal sound reversed. The piercing enchantment on crossbows makes arrows go through mobs, but it has a trick. By using a piercing bow and a tipped arrow of weakness, you can affect all villager zombies in a line with weakness and cure 4 villagers at once. Or you can just use a splash potion. Did you know the Deep Dark was initially going to be underwater? According to the original roadmap for the update, underwater lights, floating jellyfish, and even ghost blocks were in the works. However, since this didn't match the creepy theme of the Warden, it was never implemented. Are you kidding me? If you don't want this to happen, there's an amazing trick you can do to make your chests invincible. Just waterlog them, and even if you set off a million explosions, your loot is going nowhere. In 1.20.2, you can now put up to 64 items inside decorated pots. Only one type of item can be put in at a time, and when you're done, you can crack open the pot with an arrow. There's a color in Minecraft that is everywhere, but almost no one has noticed. Look at ocean monuments, guardians, the warden, and even soul energy. What do you think all of them have in common? It's the cyan color. Could this have something to do with Minecraft's ancient lore? You can fly faster or slower in spectator mode by scrolling. By scrolling up or down your hotbar, you can adjust the flying speed to as fast as 87 blocks per second, or as slow as practically not moving. When you meet an Enderman, you're probably used to its purple eyes and black smoke that it emits, but the Enderman actually used to have green eyes. Did you know that Deep Slate was supposed to be named something else? Originally, Deep Slate was meant to be Brimstone, but Mojang decided that Grim sounded too negative. Yeah, okay, Mojang. Are you as tired of water freezing in cold biomes? You can try placing light sources like torches or glowstones, but they're ugly. Instead, you can use a waterlogged slab that'll never freeze. But it gets even better. Kelp can also be put inside water, and it also will no longer turn into ice. Pigling bartering is super overpowered, but it's so slow. Luckily, Bedrock Edition pros found a way to speed it up by 100 times. All you need to do is grab a sticky piston and a gold block, and hook it up to a super fast clock. Then when you drop the gold, the pigling will pick a piece of gold up every time the block moves, giving you supercharged trading. Ah, finally, infinite gravel. Just what I've always wanted. Cats always land on their feet in real life, but in Minecraft, cats don't take any fall damage. You can hit them off a mountain and they'll still survive. Try surviving this. Have you seen those stylish villager outfits? Books on their heads and fur coats? Who designed those cutting-edge fashions? Mojang revealed villagers were inspired by a Gucci fashion show. How did villagers end up dressed better than me? A strange item might become Minecraft's best weapon. In Minecraft's combat testing snapshot, netherite hoes are the best weapon. This is because axes have a reach of 2.5 blocks, swords have a reach of 3 blocks, and hoes have a reach of 3.5 blocks. This would make it so someone using a hoe would always hit someone using a sword or axe first. I never thought netherite hoes would be actually useful. You should never dig straight down, right? Well, not exactly, because digging straight down has a 64% chance of leading to nothing, and only a 6% chance of leading to lava, so it's mostly safe. And even if you do fall in lava, you can always just use a water bucket. Fences are the strangest blocks in Minecraft. You can't jump over them normally, but when you make them even taller with a carpet or trapdoor, then you can jump on them. This game is so weird. These Minecraft accounts are illegal. Minecraft usernames are supposed to have more than 3 characters, but the names BB, G, and 8 exist. When Minecraft was first created, usernames didn't have requirements, and this allowed players to create these cursed usernames. This feature breaks Minecraft. This is because the game can't handle extremely large numbers. So if you die with over 21,863 XP levels, you'll have a negative game score. This is so cursed. The Swift Sneak enchantment lets you travel super quickly, but most people use it wrong. The enchantment lets you move faster while shifting, but if you sprint right before pressing crouch, you'll go way quicker. But that's not it. You can go even faster by sprint jumping and holding crouch. Now you can escape your enemies without getting caught. This Minecraft mob has different stages. Piglins can have a light, medium, or heavy aggression. The light tier can be fixed by wearing gold armor. The medium tier can be calmed by bartering gold, and the heavy tier can't be cured. You can climb up hundreds of blocks with just 2 items: powdered snow and leather boots. While wearing leather boots, you won't fall through the powdered snow and will be able to continue climbing without leaving a trail. In all of Minecraft, there is one block you can enchant. This block is a non-wearable block, so pumpkins don't count. The answer is the jack-o'-lantern, and it can be enchanted with curses even though you can't wear it. Unfortunately, this was patched in 1.20, but if you are ever on an older version, it'd be a super cool trick. Shifting hides the player's name tag, but it has another secret use. Most hostile mobs can detect you from 16 blocks away, but sneaking decreases the detection range to 80% of their usual range. So if you're trying to escape some creepers, sneaking will help a lot. There's another way to sneak past mobs, and it's even better than shifting. When you wear mob heads, it halves the distance that mobs can detect you. Just another way to get past pesky mobs. Have you ever wondered how the gas sounds were made in Minecraft? The sound is horrific. C418, the original sound designer for Minecraft, said that he got the sounds from his sleeping cat, and he modified them to sound scarier. Skeletons have a hidden detail very few players know about. About 11% of them spawn left-handed, and it apparently mirrors the amount of real people who are left-handed. How crazy is that? Want more inventory space? Just turn on touchscreen mode and use your number hotkeys to place your items in the crafting grid. You can exit your inventory, and the items will stay there. This bug was patched in 1.19, but you can still use it in any version before. With maps and glass, you can make one-way windows. You can create maps that look like blocks using a custom map generator or by building block layouts by hand. Slap them on glass and you can spy on your friends without getting caught. So it was you who was stealing my emeralds. Use this method to find tons of netherite. Just place a grindstone, apply fire resistance, and swim upwards beneath the grindstone while holding crouch. This way you can x-ray underneath lava lakes to find hidden netherite. This method is good because you don't need tons of beds to do it. This is the easiest way to kill a warden. As the warden spawns, build an iron golem and make sure you have over a stack of iron. You can use this iron to heal the golem as it takes damage, and it'll destroy the warden for you. It may seem a little expensive, but you can easily get iron with AFK farms, and it's certainly better than dying in the deep dark. If you apply the name tag Dinnerbone to mobs, it'll flip them upside down. But there are 3 mobs it won't work on. You probably know the Ender Dragon, but the other 2 are a bit more surprising. Considering you can do it to the Wither, the 2 mobs are the Squid and Glow Squid. Squids have another strange feature. Real-life squids have 10 tentacles, but Minecraft squids have only 8. But considering Minecraft has a dragon and giant green slimes, I think it's fine that squids aren't completely realistic. Let me ride you already. If it's taking forever to tame a horse, you can feed it a golden apple before trying again, and it'll be way more likely to accept you. Minecraft items have a secret rarity system. This is why some items have white names, while others are colored. But what do the colors mean? Common items are white, treasure items are bright yellow, boss drops are aqua, and admin items glow purple. What happens if you enchant a normal golden apple? Will it act just like a god apple, or will it be the same? The answer is actually in between. Enchanting a regular golden apple boosts its rarity to epic, turning its name the same color as god apples. It's still functioning like normal, but how cool is that? If you shoot a bunch of arrows with your left hand, you'll see more arrows will land on the left side of your crosshair. This happens because arrows lean a bit left or right, depending on which hand you shoot a bow with. I always thought something was off. The symbols on end crystals may look random, but they actually spell something pretty interesting. When you rearrange the symbols, they spell out Mojang. I'd be surprised if you knew this. The phantom sounds were made by a developer's son screaming in his sleep. Yeah, there's no way you knew that. Llamas are one of the fastest mobs in Minecraft. They may seem slow at first, especially the wandering trader llamas, but there's a way to make them go super fast. When you attach a llama to a lead, up to 10 other llamas will follow, and they'll do almost anything to keep up. You can fly backwards in creative mode, and the llamas will still somehow keep up. Have you ever noticed you can craft books in the crafting table any way you want? The recipes are shapeless, meaning you can place the ingredients however you like. It also works for flint and steel, as well as beetroot soup. Now this is very cursed. With just a chicken, lead, and boat, you can create a void base. All you have to do is attach the chicken to a fence, then ride the boat on top. This works because boats are able to land on top of entities. You can also put boat chests to make the most secret base ever. This is the most embarrassing way to die. If you punch an armor stand with Thorn's armor, you end up taking damage, and if you keep doing it, you'll get this embarrassing death message. The bucket has a slight detail only the most observant players will notice. When you pick up a fish, the bucket texture goes down by 1 pixel to show the weight of the fish pushing it down. It's nearly impossible to see if you're not looking closely. This chest is impossible to open. You may think there's a block or barrier on top, but there isn't. The chest was locked using the data command. With this command, you can lock chests, furnaces, and other storages. The only way to open them is with a key you set in the command. This way, you can have secret chests that only you know how to open. Be gone, thieves! Minecraft recycles a lot of textures. Endstone is identical to cobblestone, bedrock to stone, and Santa clay. Even the creeper hissing sound is the same as the prime TNT sound, just pitched down. When you load a world, the chunk colors actually mean something. Black means unloaded terrain, gray means structures, and blue means water. This is the full color chart. So next time your world is loading, keep an eye out for interesting chunks. Did you know mobs can still see you when invisible? Instead of hiding you completely, the effect makes it so that mobs detect you at 7% of their usual range. Each armor piece also increases the detection range by 17.5%. So if you get too close or wear too much armor, the mobs will still come after you. If you're fighting a zombie and more seem to appear out of nowhere, this is because you're fighting a leader. They have a 5% chance of spawning, and when attacked, they'll summon reinforcement zombies. Fireflies were supposed to sparkle in the dark. The frogs would snap the glowing bugs right out of the air with their long tongues. How cool would it have been to see frogs leaping and catching fireflies? However, once Mojang found out fireflies are poisonous to frogs, they canceled the idea. Rest in peace, fireflies. Subscribe if you enjoyed.